Hello everyone, my name is Marzik and today I'm going to be showing you this space shuttle that I made. I called it Space Shuttle Theta because I have a tendency to name things after things, I guess. I was originally going to show both of my space shuttles in this one video, but I decided to just do one of them. So this was the first. It is based off of the American space shuttle, the one that we've all seen and flew, and they're about to launch it. And engine start up, and all the rocket boosters ignite, and here it goes. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead and speed up the launch here. SRB separation. And now I'm just taking this thing into orbit. Main engine cut off. And now the fuel tank has been jettisoned. And now the orbiter is going to go flip itself right side up, and it's going to coast to its apoapse and then burn to complete an orbit. It is commencing its orbital burn now. And it is now in orbit. So I'm going to go ahead and warp ahead once back to the sunlight side, so we can actually see what this thing has to offer. Okay, so I'm going to opening up the cargo bay doors so you can take a look what this thing has to offer. So as you can see in the cargo bay in the front, I've built a structure which is well, part of it's the airlock, and part of it is the docking porch for space stations at the top there. That little circle down the bottom there is where the airlock comes in and out. Right now, its airlock is closed, but I press hotkey 4, and there it is. You see it pops out. And I'm actually going to demonstrate the usage of this airlock now. I'm going to transfer the engineer Kerbal, Jedred Kerman into the airlock. And that's what it looks like inside the airlock. And now I'm going to send Jedred on EVA. And there he is. Right there. In that airlock. Even though you could just go through the side door there on the cockpit, I thought it'd be cool to have the airlock structure there. Cause I mean, why the hell not? You know, it's like from the real space shuttle. So why not have it? So anyway, I'm gonna get the Kerbal back into the airlock and then back into the cockpit. He's now back in the cockpit. And right about here is where I'm going to start showing the RCS controls on this thing. So that's the first one. There's RCS in the back there on those two boxes to push it forward. The 3 RCS in the front there to push it backwards. There's also the RCS switches at the top there to push it down. And there's the two on the back to push it up like that. And then there's also RCS set of RCS thrusters on both sides to move it to the left and to the right when it needs to dock. And of course you'll see the docking port, which is exposed right there. That's all the RCS controls. And the last thing I'm going to show, at least here in the cargo door, is the crane. I built a cargo crane like the real space shuttle had. Or at least I try to. The best I could do in Kerbal Space Program. I see it works pretty well, but of course it's Kerbal Space Program, so it's not automated. You have to do it manually. And also, as you'll see in a moment, it is wobbly because it's Kerbal Space Program, but it works. You can actually grab things. It can, well, you'll see here, I can change the position of multiple parts of it, and it has a little grabbing unit so you can grab things, and it can even rotate. You will see that this thing can also rotate as well. So yeah, I thought to make this like the real Space Shuttle Canada arm to the best of my ability in Kerbal Space Program here. So I'm just demonstrating the crane arm here. And there it is rotating. Okay, so I am starting to put away the cargo arm. And now I'm lowering the arm. And those two little docking ports should have this thing locked and secure in the cargo bay. And there it is. It is now secured in the cargo bay. So I am now going to retract or put away the airlock, and I'm also going to close the cargo bay doors as we prepare for re-entry. We'll be rotating this thing to retrograde, so that when we'll burn, we will lower our periapts into the atmosphere. And now I am now commencing the deorbit burn. And it's done, and now I'm going to get rid of the remaining fuel in the vehicle to make so that the center of mass is as forward in the vehicle as much as I can to ensure that this thing can land safely. So now all the fuel's been dumped. This thing has no fuel left in it, and so the center of mass has been moved forward because of that, and I should ensure this thing a much safer landing otherwise. Now just rotating it to prograde as I get this thing in position for re-entry. Alright, it's below 70 kilometers, so it is now falling back to Kerbal. Now, right about now is where you can see, there it is, you can see the, I guess, effects of the atmosphere starting to come around the vehicle. And this re-entry process is a very, very long one, so I'm going to go ahead and speed it up for you. Well, here we go. It's down to 1,300 meters per second, and well, it's still going a bit fast. And we're not going to make it back to the Kerbal Space Center, unfortunately, but I still intend to land this thing. So yeah, so I'm just I'm trying to reduce some more speed. But at this point, the vehicle really likes to pitch more down or more straight. At this point, it really likes to do that. And I realized that if I didn't change it, I was going to go into the water. And I did not want to ditch this thing. I did not want to put it in the water. So I started making some turns to force it to go over the land so that I still land it and that I don't have to ditch it. So, of course, I'm not being too aggressive as I don't want this thing to flip out. So that's why I am, well, I don't know if it could flip out. Probably could, but that's why I'm not being, like, super aggressive with it. Or I guess I'm being as aggressive as I can be with it, but yeah, I'm just making sure it slowly turns so that it will actually land on the land and not have to go into the water, because I don't want to ditch it. And there we go. It's heading towards the land, and now I'm going to keep this thing pointed down at this angle, because the thing about this is because it's a big glider. It needs the most amount of speed as it can before it flares, which is where it pitches up so that it can actually land safely. This thing needs to have the most speed as it can before that, so that's why I'm keeping it pitched down here. But you will see in a bit that I started doing some flares. There's the first flare, and then I have another flare at around 1,000. There's the second flare. And now I deploy the landing gear, and now I try to flare multiple times. And now I make sure to, well here, yeah. So now I make sure this thing lands successfully and doesn't lose too much speed, so that it doesn't just flop on the ground. Just making sure it doesn't hit the ground too hard. This is not a solid runway, so it's not going to be stable. And touchdown. Just making sure it doesn't break apart. And I now deploy the brakes, and now the drug parachutes to slow this thing down. And now it will slow down. And there we have it. It has come to a stop. Looks like there's no damage to the vehicle. The two Kerbals made it home safely. And, yeah, successful. So, anyways, I hope you all enjoyed today's Kerbal Space Program video. If you did, please leave a like. I hope all of you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see all of you next time. Bye!